Think Progress is all for Occupy Wall Street and everything else. Can you imagine now what the mainstream media would say if they would have come our way and taken people from my staff, let alone a crazy conspiracy nut job off the rails, right? Mm-hmm. And I bet you nobody will say anything about it.
I don't know. I mean, it's essentially. Think Progress is almost. It's just an extension of the administration. I mean, every time they have an issue like with the Van Jones, they get dumped there, and they kind of go in and out all the time. We had examples that we've cited where they essentially designed policy weeks before the administration. It's very difficult to talk about these topics, I'm realizing, without saying these names. Mm-hmm. But without, they'd put out position papers, and 2 weeks later it would be policy of the administration. I mean, these guys are the thinking wing of the administration. And, it's not a surprise at all, but I mean, it's funny to see them announce it as, hey, our bloggers now are the chief of staff of the White House.
And again, if it was Newsmax or something, can you imagine the hysteria? Or, anything.
The John Birch Society.
Yeah, John Birch Society. I mean, and
crazy.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And Newsmax and the John Birch Society, not as far to the right.
No, as they are left.
As they are. I can only think, and it won't be named, I can only think of one organization on the right that is as far to the right as Think Progress is on the left.
Yeah.
It's not Newsmax. It's not Newsmax. I mean, these guys are hardcore. And, you say they're just an extension. They are. Because it's the Center for American Progress, and that is just where that's who wrote the stimulus bill. That's the president. I'm sorry, but the president is not the president of the United States. He's a puppet. I've never felt this about any other president ever before in my life. He's a puppet.
I don't know that you can just absolve him of responsibility.
Oh, no, I don't absolve him of any responsibility at all. But this is a team, and he is just the front man on this team. That's all he is. He was selected before he was elected. He was selected by the Center for American Progress, the George Soros, and all of that stuff.
It's a good selection, by the way. I mean, he's very effective.
No, I know.
Worked out for him.
He makes the American people who have been a center-right country for a long time into people who accept these nonsensical left-wing policies.
Look, here's what the left has done that we just talk about. And that is, we all say to be the president of the United States is too big for one man. It's too big for one man. How do you do all of the things? You have to have a really good team. He was the last member of the team. I'm convinced of it. He didn't even build the team. The team built him. And they were just waiting for the right guy to fit into that slot. They see him, they're like, mouthpiece. He's perfect. He can articulate it. He believes it, but he'll just do what we tell him to do. I'm not saying that he's...
Well, he's been trained his whole life in Newfoundland for this.
Right. I mean, he believes this stuff, and I'm not saying he's idealist. He's not that. But the stimulus bill, I'll bet you he didn't even know what the hell was in it. I'll bet you he didn't even know what was in the health care bill. He didn't write that thing. The Center for American Progress did. And Think Progress was the arm that got everything on the ground, boots on the ground. How do you get it done? I mean, it's complete. It is complete. If it's not complete, it's damn near complete. They're now putting in all of these crazy lefties into really important positions. They're just gutting our military. I mean, how do you have a Navy SEAL team? How do you have a Navy SEAL team with one of them a woman? How do you do it? You want an all-women's team? Great, go do it. But you are just gutting our national defense.
None of this is a surprise, though. I mean, they're not.
No, elections have consequences.
If he didn't appoint a Think Progress blogger to this role, it would be someone just as crappy. I mean, it's just hilarious that they can't even hide it. They're just taking straight-out bloggers from hardcore left-wing organizations and throwing in these power positions.
No reason to hide it anymore.
Yeah,
no reason to.
No reason.